Hello guys. Today I prepared a project for you in the style of Helsloot. He's an artist which makes some amazing music, and I'm a huge fan of him. Especially this like eighth note bass lines, dum 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 dum. That I just love that kind of rhythm and beat. So I made something similar to him, and yeah, I hope you guys like it. I'll show you, as usual, all the layers, every single element, and the project file will be available on my Patreon if you want to take a look and dive in deeper on your own. So let's play it from the break to the drop. Yes, this is what I'll be showing you how to make today. So let's dive right into it. Drum bus. I'll show you guys this in the end. Sidechain trigger, pretty simple. It's just a pulse, really short, so I have full control over the sidechain compression on each individual element. Kick is coming from Big Kick. This might have been a preset that I modified a little bit. Pretty simple. You can come up with some really interesting stuff out of this plugin. So that's that. Nothing done to it at all. So I could remove this and sound will be exactly the same. It's just a kick. Bassline, let's dive into it. I have one hive here. Simple preset that I modified. This is the sub. I have also a top layer from the Monopoly, which opens up throughout the track. Which we should be doing over here as well. That's it. This space is this layer is low cutted, so it doesn't conflict with the top layer over here. Solid. Drums. We have a main hat rhythm, simple pattern with some velocity. And then you have these really short notes that I really do not understand why this happens, because this happens on some of my external synths as well. When the note is super short, the release just like opens up for some reason. I have never figured out. Well, I haven't like actually searched for an answer, but it's this kind of technique I use a lot. Whenever I want the release to open up on a simple sequence, I'll just shorten the note really small, and then I have like a lot of release. So you get this kind of rhythm. Clap. simple clap, and then a close hat. So you have this. These are the main drums, nothing on the bus, and each individual element only has like a pretty simple EQ. Then we go to the perks. So we have one snare perk here, low cut, nothing crazy, thumb fill, rides, another fill over here, simple ride pattern as well over here, some auto pan, and some I removed a little bit of this like ringy frequency right here. So without the EQ it sounds like this. You can hear that ringing. It's a classic on a 909 ride. They always have this kind of ringing frequency that you just have to remove. Like if you ever use a 909 ride, you just cut this exact frequency and you're good to go. Top loop over here. Just an EQ. Snap kind of loop with some fa sortan. Just like kind of like throws it to the back, puts it in a room, and then just adds modulation, you know, because the loop is pretty basic. I mean, the percussion groove is super basic, and you have these fills that come every once in a while. But other than that, it just stays the same. So you have to add movement with some effects on percussion that's not like the highlight or the percussion that's leading the groove. So I like to do this a lot whenever I add like a really random percussion track or whatever. I'll just shower that loop with reverb, effects, delays, phasers, anything that comes to mind, and I'll just make like a washy texture out of it, and you get something interesting in the background that's always changing. So yep, that's the purpose of this loop. We have a vinyl texture over here, classic, and finally a breakbeat loop. Really simple, just low cut it. Actually, we should low cut it. I had it like all the way over here, but I think this kind of bongos and congas here are really cool. There's super massive on these gated snares. Free VST from Valhalla, which I think is amazing for delay textures and throws. It's one of those that I think everyone should have. Beautiful. And finally we move on to the synths. Let's take it from the top. I made this kind of like, I don't know, solo-ish kind of thing in the break, just to make it interesting. Main lead comes from the Juno, from Roland. Beautiful VST, you know, you can get like really close to the original synth. I don't know how expensive is this Juno nowadays, but you know, VSTs are there already. Some wobbly wobbles with the Arturia tape emulation. I'm also driving it really hard, but I'm using this wow, and the mechanics I don't think you should use. A lot of reverb from Valhalla. Sorry. And low cut and sidechain. That's it. Let's take a look at this lead pad here. Ooh, let me place this over here as well. Coming from the Hive. Simple preset from Audio Tent, I believe. Kind of drone pad here. A lot of reverb. 100% wet reverb. And also coming from just like a string preset from the factory's preset folder. And then this is also an interesting technique for this pad layer I just showed you. Instead of droning like the chord of the track, which is in this case the track is written in F minor, people would usually drone like the root chord or the root notes chord. So in this case F minor, an F minor chord. Instead you remove the third and you get like, this is a power chord. I don't know if power chords are with fifths. You don't quote me on that, because my music theory gets confused when I need to translate it to English. But when you do this, you suspend the track in a way that it's neither major or minor. So you have this drone that starts from the intro and starts to set the mood, but still people will not understand if it's a major or minor track until the other elements come in. So with this you create suspense in a way that it's actually suspenseful, you know? Like, okay, this could be a happy track, or this could be a sad track. As soon as the leads come in or the bass comes in, it really depends on... it's a cool technique, not a technique, but it's like a tool you can use if you want to make your tracks or your intros a little bit more interesting, and then when the melodic elements come in, then it's a surprise. Let's move on to the main leads. So that's the main lead, and they're pretty simple. We have a Hive lead. I was on Hive mode in this track. Pretty simple sound. It's a sawtooth oscillator. Square wave isn't being used. I don't think it's routed. Oh, it is. But it's a pretty simple sound as well. It's just the amount of filter and compression that I have that makes it big. So some press work from Yuhi and some FabFilter Timeless. But I also have Echo Boy here on the group and more reverb on the group as well. So you get delay and compression here, which then gets fed into another delay, into another reverb. So that's how a simple sound like this can sound really big. have a Juno layer. Obviously some automation in the to the hive. I'm automating I think this is the filter cutoff. I'm automating the release, the decay on the first oscillator, the LFO depth on the filter, the rate of the LFO on the filter, and some detune over here. And yeah, that's how you make also a pretty basic kind of sequence like this. You turn it and you automate a couple of stuff and you make it a little bit more dynamic, and you get this kind of results. And the Juno layer is pretty basic. I'm only opening up the filter. Oops. We have some Atmos here. Pretty basic loop and some vocals here. So they show up here in like after the first drop. I go into like a pre-chorus, pre-breakdown you could call it, because the chorus is this one. So maybe this would be called like a bridge. When the lead is gone. But you need another melodic element to come in. So in this case, it's this vocal. Let's add this fill here. So the trick here with this vocal is I have an LFO tool that's panning it left and right. It's a preset I made a long time ago, which is just like left to right panning. But I'm also using the Ableton's auto pan, but not to pan, but to gate. So you get this trance kind of. And I'm automating the amount. So it's heavier towards the end of the vocal phrase. And finally, we have the effects here. One crash. Effecty kind of thing. More toms. Wait. wait. Okay. So I shouldn't place this where the others are, because it seems like they are the same drums. So there was a reason why these guys weren't here in the beginning. Yep. That's since like. Okay, now we have it. So this is just like these tom fills could be in the same place as this ones. I don't know why they're all the way down here, but they're the exact same samples, just with a different pattern. So we have this one's playing this, and then this one's just play like. Yep. We already talked about the crash. We have another effect here. And we have another effect here. It's just like a flanging white noise with some panning. Swap, like this. Panning is a thing I don't hear people do a lot in electronic music, with the appearance of true stereo field back in the days. Well, I have no idea how it was done back in the days, but if you hear other people like the Beatles or bands like, I don't know, the Killers, these guys will take an entire drum kit and pan it to the right, an entire guitar track and pan it to the left, so your head kind of tilts that way. I think it's missing in electronic music just to throw around a loop entirely to the right, and maybe your head tilts a little bit to the right, but then you have something else that's balancing the mix to the left. So that's basically it. Let's play it back from the first break. And the effect entirely panned to the right. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the project file will be... Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention the drum bus here. Basically, I have a Neve preamp compression which feeds everything that's percussive. So kick, claps, hat, percussion, everything goes into this bus. Gets fed into this Neve preamp, which is kind of like, I don't want to use the word because it's something I don't like saying, but glues. It glues the mix. And this is like this magic plugin that does it for me on the drums. And the more you drive it, kind of, oh, that's a little bit too much. Just UAD stuff, just they have this, like, you can push UAD plugins into the red and they create this kind of satisfying distortion. And then down here we have just a little plate for like maybe build up energy. Let's see. Yep. Let's take it a step further and also automate the decay. Ooh, that's what I like. Yes, sir. There you have it, guys. Check out the Patreon, which is also full of really cool tips and tricks and information. And I'll be posting a lot more genres and deconstructing a lot more different style of tracks in the future on this YouTube channel. So please also subscribe and like the video, comment. It really does help me out. So yep, thanks a lot for everything, guys. I'll catch you later.